Good morning, my dear students. In the last lectures, we have discussed regarding the detectors. The last detector, what we have discussed is regarding the GM counter. After completion of this detector, we have solved some of the numerical problems concerned to the accelerators, in particular in the cyclotron. Now, after completion of all these, now today we are going to start the next topic, energy sources. Now let us try to understand in this topic whatever the points we are going to discuss. Now, energy, it is the well familiar to you that because from the what it is the primary or high school levels you have studied what is the energy, etc. Now here the basic definition of energy is that the capacity for doing work is called as the energy. That is, in order to do any work, isn't it? One must have some capacity to do it, isn't it? Now, that capacity for doing the work is known as what it is the energy. Now, if a person has the more capacity to do a work, we say that his energy is more. If he's got less capacity to do the work, then we say that energy is what it is the less. And moreover, this energy, it is one of the essential thing, isn't it, for the survival of our life. Without energy, it is very difficult to survive. Because if we want to survive, we have to do some work, isn't it? And to do some work, one must have some capacity to do the work. That is nothing but it is the energy. Now, that energy, it may be of any form, isn't it? Now, already you have studied in the lower classes that the law of conservation of energy, isn't it? That is, it states that the total energy of a system always remains constant. Total energy of a system always remains constant. But one form of energy can be converted into the another form, isn't it? That is mechanical energy into the electrical energy, heat energy into the electrical energy, light energy into the electrical energy, and again electrical energy to the light energy. Therefore, this what it is a conversion, it is possible. That is, one form of energy can be converted into the another form. But the total energy remains constant. This is a very important what is a law. That is the law of conservation of what it is the energy. Now here, that means for the what it is the in order to do any work, isn't it? You require the energy of any type. Sometimes you need the mechanical energy, sometimes you need the heat energy, sometimes you need the electrical energy, sometimes you need the sound energy, isn't it? Magnetic energy, like that. Depending upon your requirement, isn't it? Whatever the form of energy you require, you can avail it. Isn't it? Now, suppose if you want to what electrical energy, now you can get that electrical energy either from mechanical energy, either from what it is a light energy, either from heat energy, or it may be from light energy. Like that, one can get what it is a form of energy from any type, isn't it? Now, these are the basic things regarding what it is the energy, isn't it? Now, see, after understanding this one, now let us come to what it is discuss the other important points regarding the energy sources. Now listen here, depending upon the availability of the energy, isn't it? Depending upon the availability of energy, that means then in how many ways the energy is available for us, isn't it? On the basis of that, the energy, it is categorized into three types. Now what are those, what it is the three types of energy sources means? One is the primary energy sources. Primary energy sources. This, and second is secondary energy sources. Secondary energy sources. And third is the supplementary energy sources. Supplementary energy sources. That means in how many ways the energy is available. On the basis of that, the energy sources are categorized into the three types. Those are the primary energy sources, secondary energy sources, and supplementary energy sources. Now let us try to understand then what do you mean by all these three. Now, first let us come to the primary energy sources, isn't it? Now, to which what it is the sources of energy are known as the primary energy sources. Now listen here, the energy sources whose energy yield ratio is very high. Such energy sources are named as the primary energy sources. That is, the energy sources whose energy yield ratio is very high. Isn't it? Such energy sources are named as the primary energy sources. Now, the question is here, what do you mean by energy yield ratio? Isn't it? Or energy yield. Now, this energy yield, energy yield is equal to, now this formula is energy yield is equal to energy obtained divided by energy used, energy used. Now this ratio, it is known as what it is, the energy yield. Now listen here, this that is, in order to obtain any energy, you have to spend some energy. For example, what I had told you, then we can get electrical energy from mechanical energy. That means by using the mechanical energy, you can get electrical energy. That is, electrical energy is obtained, isn't it, by spending the mechanical energy. Isn't it? Now that is what it's meaning, that energy obtained, that is whatever the amount of energy you have got it, then divided by, in order to get that energy, how much amount of energy you have used it, isn't it? Now that ratio, it is known as the energy yield, isn't it? Now this yield value, it is very high. Such energy sources are named as what it is, the primary energy sources. Now for example, let us consider the you have spent 10 joules of energy, isn't it? How much energy you have used it? You have spent it 10 joules. By spending the 10 joules of energy, you got or you have obtained 100 joules of energy, isn't it? Now this is 100 joules. That is, you have spent this 10 joules of energy. Let us say 10 joules of mechanical energy, you have what it is spent it. By using that 10 joules, you have obtained 100 joules of electrical energy. Now this what it is a yield ratio, it is equal to how much it is, a 10. That is very high value, isn't it? Then even if you have got energy yield ratio 1, that is also be sufficient, isn't it? That means whatever the amount of energy you spent it, even if you get the same amount of energy, that is also be sufficient. Means what? If you spend 10 joules of mechanical energy, if you get 10 joules of electrical energy, that is also be most what it is the efficient one, isn't it? But isn't it? In primary energy sources, what will happen is that ratio will become what it is a very high, isn't it? Now that such a what it is the energy sources are known as what it is the primary energy sources. Now what are the examples for this primary energy sources? Means examples are what it is the coal energy. That means whatever the energy is obtained by using the coal. Then example here is what it is the coal. Next is oil. By using the oil, crude oil, then that is what it is, the diesel is there, petrol is there, kerosene is there, all those things, isn't it? Gases, etc. The next is what it is, the natural gases. Natural gases. This one. And the next is what it is, the nuclear energy, isn't it? Then nuclear energy, etc. Now, these energy sources are named as what it is, the primary energy sources, isn't it? Now, in all these cases, you can see that then you spend less energy, by spending the less amount of energy, you can obtain what it is a very high, what it is the energy, isn't it? Now, this is the primary energy sources and these are the examples for it. And the next, coming to the secondary energy sources. Now, what is to which sources we call it as the secondary energy sources? Means the energy sources whose energy yield is less than 1, isn't it? Now, so here energy yield, it is less than 1. Then already I have written you the formula of energy yield, how to calculate. That is, the energy yield is equal to energy obtained, ratio of energy obtained to the energy spent, isn't it? Now, then this energy yield is what it is, the less than 1. Then such a energy sources are named as the secondary energy sources. Now here, energy yield is what it is, the less than 1. Meaning is that then here, whatever the amount of energy you spent it, you won't get that much, isn't it? For example, if you spend 10 joules of energy, you never get 10 joules, but you may get 8 joules, isn't it? Now, for example, energy yield, let us consider it is equal to what it is. You have spent 10 joules and you have obtained 8 joules only, isn't it? Now, its value equal to how much it is, a 0.8 now, less than 1, isn't it? That means then when you spend you will spend more energy, but you will get less energy, isn't it? Now, such a energy sources are named as what it is, the secondary energy sources. Now, what are the examples for secondary energy sources? Means the secondary, what it is, the energy sources. Examples are here. The example is, one is the water energy, that is hydraulic energy. This one. The next is what it is, the wind energy, and the next is what it is, the tidal energy, and what it is, the ocean energy, geothermal energy. Next to solar energy, isn't it? The solar energy, etc. Now, these are all the examples for what it is, the secondary energy sources. Now here, in all these cases, what will happen is then you will spend more energy, but you will get less energy, isn't it? For example, when you use especially in what it is, dams, etc., whatever the electric power generation is there, isn't it? For example, in Almaty also, then power production is there, isn't it? In that case, the water energy is converted into the electrical energy. Then when you calculate it, then whatever the amount of water energy you are spending, that much amount of electrical energy you never get it, isn't it? Now, for example, I have given you that when you spend 10 joules, but you will get 10 joules of water energy when you spend it, but you will get only 8 joules of electrical energy, isn't it? Then such a energy sources are named as what it is, the secondary energy, what it is, the sources. And these are the examples for the secondary energy sources. And the next is, lastly, what it is, the supplementary energy sources. Then supplementary energy sources means the energy sources whose what it is, the energy yield is very negligible it is, isn't it? That is, in this case, energy yield is what it is, the approximately 0 type. It is almost negligible means even you get it means almost 0. That means whatever the amount of energy when you spend it, for example, when you spend 100 joules of energy, then you will get only 0.1 joules of what it is, the energy. Then almost negligible it is. Then such a what it is, the energy sources are named as the supplementary energy sources. Now, examples for supplementary energy sources is here. Example is insulation. That is all the insulations. That means in case of the motors, etc., electric motors, etc., whatever the copper winding is there, over that copper winding, isn't it, some layer of gold coated will be there, isn't it? Gold color coating. That is the insulation it is, isn't it? Insulation means what? In that the electric current will never flow it, isn't it? Now, for example, energy, what it is, a formula is what it is, the energy E is equal to VI into T. This is a electrical energy formula. Then voltage, current, and time of flow, isn't it, of the current. Now, insulator means what? Which does not allow the current to flow through it, isn't it? Then if there is no current, that is I is equal to 0, then energy obtained is what it is, a 0, isn't it? So that in case of the insulation, isn't it? Energy, it is what it is, almost zero. Then this is an example for what it is, the supplementary energy sources. Now, these are the three different types of what it is, the energy sources. Primary energy sources means what? The energy sources whose what it is, the energy yield is very much high, isn't it? Example is what it is, the coal, oil, natural gases, isn't it? Nuclear energy, etc. Isn't it? Energy yield, already I had told you that it is equal to the ratio of energy obtained to the energy spent, isn't it? Then, so secondary energy sources means these are the energy sources whose energy yield is less than 1, isn't it? Then examples are water energy, isn't it? Wind energy, tidal energy, solar energy, isn't it? Then what it is, a geothermal energy, ocean energy. Now all this will come in what it is, a secondary energy sources. Next is lastly supplementary energy sources means these are the energy sources whose energy yield is what it is, a very small, negligible, almost zero type. Example is what it is, the insulation, isn't it? Now these are the three different types of the energy sources. Now see, after understanding this one, now let us try to understand, isn't it? Carefully listen here. When we say that this is a source of energy, isn't it? When we say that this is a source of energy, then what characteristics it must have, isn't it? To say that it is a source of energy. Now see, all the things which are having energy, we can't call it as what it is a source of energy. Now, for example, are you followed? Then without going much detail about this one, then let us what it is restrict to the point itself. That is to say that this is a source of energy, any type of energy, either it may be electrical energy, mechanical energy, etc. Source of energy means then what characteristics it must have. Then let us try to understand, isn't it, those characteristics of energy sources. Now there are 5 characteristics are there, isn't it? Then to say that it is a what it is a energy source, that is here characteristics of energy sources. Energy sources. Now let us try to understand one by one, isn't it? Now see, the first one is that it must be able to provide an adequate amount of useful energy, isn't it? What it is? It should be capable of, isn't it? Or it should be able to provide an adequate amount of useful energy, isn't it? Now, the first characteristic is that it should be able to provide an adequate amount of useful energy. Now here, that is, its meaning is that it should be able to provide adequate amount of, that means whatever the energy we want, it should be able to provide that much amount of energy, and that to be useful. Sometimes it so happens that, for example, if I want electrical energy, if it provides the heat energy, then it is useless. Are you followed? That is what its meaning. Then example I have given to you. Then therefore it should be able to provide capable of providing a adequate amount of, that means whatever the amount. For example, if I want 100 joules of energy, suppose if it supplies, is it 50 joules, then it is useless. One thing. Second thing is, if I want electrical energy, suppose if it supplies the heat energy, that is also be useless. That means if I want 50 joules of energy, it should be able to provide minimum 50. Even if it is provide more than that, okay, well and good. Then next is what it is then suppose if I want electrical energy, it should provide the electrical energy, isn't it? Then that is what its meaning. It should be what it is able to provide an adequate amount of what it is useful energy. This is the first characteristic. Then second characteristic is what? It should not cause any pollution, isn't it? should not cause pollution. Then here we will prefer such a source of energy as a very good source of energy, that it should not any what it is a pollution also, isn't it? Because if it causes the pollution, then again there are what it is the adverse what it is the effects will be there. So that it should be we should see that then it should not produce any pollution, even if it then listen here, the anyhow somehow you will get what it is a pollution, but it should be what it is able to minimize as much as possible, isn't it? Therefore, then in ideal condition we say that to say that it is a what it is a source, or so a very good source of energy, any type of energy, means then it should not what it is cause the pollution, isn't it? This is the second characteristic. And the third characteristic is it should be what easy to store and transport. This is also one of the important characteristics. That means whatever the electrical any type of energy it is what it is generated, then first it will be stored, isn't it? Then after storing that, then whatever the energy it is stored, it should be transferred from one place to the other, so that then only it will become as useful, isn't it? Suppose if it is not able to transport it, then what is the use of it, isn't it? Therefore, this is the what is the third. It is a very important characteristic, isn't it? That means that it should be what it is able to, what it is easy to store it. Then that means whatever the energy it is producing, first it will be what it is stored, isn't it? And according to the what it is a requirement, isn't it? That will be transferred from one place to the other. See here, its meaning is that then sometimes what we do is we will listen it, isn't it? Don't mistake me. We will listen it, but we will not concentrate towards each and every word. What is the meaning of that? Isn't it? Then what usually we do it, then what are the characteristics of energy sources means, then we'll remember one by one, isn't it? Like what it is that it should be able to provide adequate amount of useful energy. Then we won't concentrate. What do you mean by what adequate amount of useful energy means what? Isn't it? Then there only we are failing to understand any what it is a subject. Don't do it, isn't it? Try to understand word by word, isn't it? Then here it should be able to what it should be what easy to store it, because whatever the energy it is produced, then immediately it will not be useful. Then first it will be stored, isn't it? Then next is whatever it is stored, then what it is it will not be placed at that place only. Then to become useful for all, then it should be transferred from one place to the other, isn't it? So that this what a third is also be a very important characteristic. It should be easy to store it, and what it is the transport, isn't it? And the next is what it is fourth one. It is convenient to use it. Now, it should be convenient to use it means what? Then here, whatever the energy it is, what it is produced, if it is not convenient for us to use it, isn't it? Then it will become as useful. It will not become useful energy, isn't it? Therefore, it should be what it is convenient to use and control also, isn't it? Then use and what are convenient to control and use it. Now, it's what is the meaning is that, for example, sometimes it will so happen that no doubt I am having the 100 joules of energy now. Then you see, at once you cannot supply the 100 joules, isn't it? Then, for example, that is one by one, 1 joule, 2 joules. That is every 1 hour. For example, if you want to transport it 1 joule, that means you are controlling it, isn't it? Then suppose if you are not able to control it, then if 100 joules of energy it is what it is produced, if total 100 joules if it is what it is transferred means, then what will happen is instead of useful, it becomes was adverse effect. Isn't it? Sometimes even you might have seen in your houses that the what will happen is whenever the sometimes then very high load will come, isn't it? Short circuit will happen, isn't it? All of a sudden, what it is, the maximum electric power will come, isn't it? It will flow into the circuits, as a result of which the very what it is the electrical and electronics instruments will what it is a damaged, isn't it? So that because of what? When at once when it comes a maximum amount of electric power, it causes the damage. When it will not causes the damage means then if you are able to control it, isn't it? Then only it will become as what it is a safe. Now, for example, how many of you have concentrated, is it towards the electronic or electrical, what it is the goods which are using in your houses and even in the what it is the computers, etc. Is it? That is a UPS, etc. We use it. Then what is the use of that? The UPS, what it will do is then whatever the amount of electric power it will take from the main line, then what it will do? Whatever the amount of electric power the computer require, it supplies only that much amount, isn't it? That is what a UPS. And even what it is for the refrigerator, etc. Then we are using what it is such a type of what it is the devices, isn't it? Then when you won't use it, then it causes what it is the damage, isn't it? Then therefore, that what it is the fourth is it should be convenient to control and what it is use it, isn't it? Now the fifth what is the characteristic is that then it should be able to provide desired amount of useful energy at a steady rate, for a long time. This is the fifth, what it is the important characteristic. Then we try to understand here, then what is the fifth one? It should be able to provide desired amount of energy, isn't it? Desired means what? How much amount of energy you require, then it must supply that much amount of energy. It should not be less than that and more than that also, isn't it? Next, desired amount of, then next is useful energy, isn't it? Useful energy means that also I made it clear that, for example, if I want electrical energy, then I want electrical energy, but instead of that, suppose if it supplies the heat energy, it will not be useful for me, isn't it? That is what it's meaning. Then desired amount of useful energy, isn't it? Then what it is at a steady rate, isn't it? At a steady rate means what? Then whatever the, for example, 10 joules of energy if I want, then continuously it should supply same amount of energy, isn't it? It should not be what it is, if it is not uniform, then sometimes it produces what 100 joules, sometimes it produces 1 joule, then it is useless, isn't it? Therefore, that is what it's meaning, isn't it? It should be what a steady rate and that to the for a long time, isn't it? For example, what it is the power generation unit, it is what it is established, isn't it? If it is established by spending the crores of rupees, isn't it? Then suppose if it has worked only for a few months and gets damaged, it means then it is of what it is no use and it is causes the loss, isn't it? Therefore, that is what it is at a steady rate for a long time. It should be useful for a long time, isn't it? Now, these are the 5 important characteristic properties of a source of energy. Means whenever we say that it is a source of energy, it should have these what it is the 5 characteristics, isn't it? Then in brief, let us try to understand once again one by one. It should be able to provide an adequate amount of useful energy. I made it clear already word by word. And second is it should not cause the pollution, isn't it? Then suppose then even if it causes the pollution, isn't it? Then we must see that then the pollution should be minimized to the maximum extent, isn't it? The next, third, it should be easy to store and transport, isn't it? That is, whatever the electrical energy or any type of energy it is produced, it should be able to store it, and then it should be easy to transport also from one place to the other. And the next is the fourth one, it should be what it is convenient to control, isn't it? I made it clear what do you mean by control and what it is use it. And the last one is that it should be able to provide, desired amount of energy, that means required amount of energy, required amount of that to the useful energy, isn't it, at a steady rate, isn't it, and for a long time, isn't it? Now see, these are the 5 important what it is the characteristics of a energy, what it is a source. Now see, after understanding what it is these characteristics of the energy sources, now let us come to the next point. Now the next point in this case is the conventional and non-conventional energy sources. Here, conventional and non-conventional energy sources. Now here, let us try to understand what do you mean by conventional energy source and non-conventional energy sources. Now here, first, let us try to understand about the conventional energy sources. Here, conventional energy sources. Then here, the another name of the conventional energy sources is nothing but the commercial energy sources, are also be known as the conventional energy sources. Now here, there are many sources of energy are there which are used for what it is a commercial purpose. Now here, whatever the electricity it is generated, isn't it? It is for what it is a commercial purpose, isn't it? Like this it is there. Therefore, any what it is a source of energy which is used for the commercial purpose, isn't it? Now that is the source, such energy sources are named as the commercial energy sources. Like what it is the electricity it is there, next to oil is there, isn't it? Because by using the oil, crude oil, this is diesel, petrol, etc., we can run the vehicles, etc. They are all those nothing but they are for the commercial purposes, like that. Therefore, any source of energy which is used for the commercial purpose, then such a energy sources are named as the commercial energy sources. Now, in this, what it is the commercial energy sources, again they are what it is the two, what it is the categories, isn't it? What are those two categories means? One is the major energy sources, major energy sources. Then another is the minor energy sources. Then here, even you can understand that what are the major energy sources means, then in this case, the see in which the energy yield ratio is very high, energy yield ratio is very high, then those are all known as what it is a major energy sources, isn't it? And one more thing you can understand that that is any sources of energy which produces what it is a huge amount of energy, isn't it? All those will come what it is the major energy sources. Like what it is a coal, isn't it? Now, for example, here you can see that in the Kudgi, isn't it? In Kudgi, whatever the power plant is there, isn't it? That is by using what it is a coal only, then see that produces what it is a tremendous amount of electrical energy, isn't it? That is a major energy source. Isn't it? Next, coal is there, oil is there, isn't it? And the next, nuclear energy is there, and next, water energy is also be there. It is producing a what it is a huge amount, isn't it? In Almaty Dam, isn't it? Then what it is a per day, many what it is a megawatts of electrical energy it what it is a produces, isn't it? Like that. Now all these will come in what it is a major energy sources, isn't it? Then example for that is you can see that major energy sources means the energy sources which produces a huge amount of energy, such a for the commercial purpose, then such energy sources are named as what it is the major energy sources. Now here examples are we say that it is the fossil fuels. That means any fuel, is it which is obtaining from the earth, they are known as what it is a fossil fuel. For example, coal is there, oil is there, natural gases is there, uranium is there, that is a nuclear energy, isn't it? And these are all. And the next is water energy. All those will come under what it is a major energy sources, isn't it? Now, for that is coal is there, and next is oil is there, next natural gases are there. Natural gases. Next is what it is a nuclear energy. Nuclear energy. And next is hydraulic energy. These, etc. Now these is it energy sources which produces the energy in a huge amount. Then such energy sources are named as what it is the major energy sources, and these are the examples for it. And the next, the second is what it is minor energy sources. Minor energy sources. Now, what are the minor energy sources means? Now, for example, we are having what is the solar energy. Then even you might have seen that the solar energy, even for your house purpose, you can install any what it is a solar panels, isn't it? Then that whatever you are installing a solar panel, etc., then by that whatever the energy, electrical energy it is what it is produced, then you can what it is use it for your own house purpose. Isn't it? Even in small scale also it can be produced, isn't it? That isn't it? The next is solar energy. Solar energy. Next is the wind energy, isn't it? Windmills are there, isn't it? Then at what it is the outskirts, then you have seen the windmills, isn't it? That provides us, that is the wind energy is converted into the electrical energy, isn't it? That what it is the wind energy. Wind energy. And the next is what it is the tidal energy. Now especially wherever the oceans are there, isn't it? There what it is in what it is some water seasons. Now this is a season, isn't it? Then tides will come very high, as a result of which the water will come out, isn't it? And those water, that water it is made to fall on the turbines, then as a result of which by what it is a rotation of the turbines, that produces what is the electrical energy. That is nothing but we call it as the tidal energy, isn't it? Then that tidal energy. Now the next is geothermal energy. Then geothermal energy means then there are some desert places are there, then where the temperature it is very high, isn't it? Now in such places what will happen is then when you pass the water, then temperature it is so high that then the temperature water it is converted into the vapor, and those vapors again made to fall on the turbine, as a result of which you can produce the electrical energy. This is the basic principle I had told you, isn't it? Then that way also you can produce what it is the electrical energy. That is nothing but what it is the geothermal energy, etc. Now all these what it is the sources will come under what it is the minor energy sources, isn't it? Now here these are, the first is conventional energy sources means what? The energy sources which are used for the commercial purpose are named as the commercial or conventional energy sources. Then these conventional energy sources, again they are what it is the characterized into two types. One is major and next is a minor. Then in major energy sources are what? The fossil fuels, like what coal is there, oil is there, natural gases, is it a nuclear energy, is it a hydraulic energy, etc. Now these what it is the energy sources provides the huge amount of energy which are used for the commercial purpose. Then these are all come under major energy sources. The next is what it is the minor energy sources, isn't it? Then even that is these minor energy sources means the energy sources which are what it is established in a small units, isn't it? Example is what it is the solar cells are there, then solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, geothermal energy. These are will come under what it is minor energy sources. This is about the conventional energy sources. And the next is the second is the non-conventional energy sources. Is it non-conventional energy sources? This. Now here, the energy sources which are not used for the commercial purpose. Such energy sources are named as the non-conventional energy sources. That is, the energy sources which are not used for the commercial purpose. Such energy sources are named as the non-conventional energy sources. Isn't it? Now, the examples for this is what wood is there. Isn't it? That is, that wood, it is used for what it is the cooking in the houses, in the hotels, restaurants, etc. They are not for the commercial purpose, isn't it? Next, what it is the agriculture waste is there, animal waste is there, isn't it? Now, in what it is the villages, isn't it? In villages, nowadays, what it is a biogas plant, it is what it is the harnessed. That is, by using that, what it is a biogas plant, then by using this animal waste and agriculture waste, you can produce the gas, and by use of that, then that gas you can use it for what it is a cooking, and by that you can produce the electrical energy for the houses, etc. Now see, these are all the things which are used for what a particular restricted places, not for the commercial. Then such energy sources are named as the minor energy sources. Isn't it? Example is what? Example is what it is the wood is there. Isn't it? Then example wood. Next is agriculture waste. Isn't it? Agriculture waste and animal waste, etc. Now these are the what it is the energy sources will come non-conventional what it is the energy sources. Isn't it? Now see, this is about the conventional and non-conventional energy sources, isn't it? And in conventional energy sources, again, there are two types, that is the major and minor. Then examples I have given to you. And the next is the non-conventional, means the energy sources which are what it is not used for the commercial purpose. They are named as the non-conventional energy sources. And the next is what are the examples for that. All those we have what we discussed. After understanding all these, now let us come to the next point regarding the renewable and non-renewable sources of energy. Now, we have discussed about conventional and non-conventional energy sources. Now, the next point is renewable and non-renewable sources of energy. Renewable and non-renewable sources of energy. Sources of energy. Now, from the title itself, you can understand that the first renewable sources of energy, that is renewable sources of energy means what? You can renew it. For example, or in another words to say that the permanent energy sources are named as the renewable sources of energy. Isn't it? They are all permanent. Isn't it? Then now it is there, again it can be what it is renewed, etc. Isn't it? Now, the another way how we can define the renewable sources of energy means the permanent energy sources are named as the renewable sources of energy. Isn't it? Example is what? Example is what it is the water energy is there, solar energy is there, wind energy is there. Isn't it? Now, all these they are permanent energy sources. Isn't it? Now, here, now see wind energy. Isn't it? This wind energy, it is what it is produced, isn't it? Forever it is almost, isn't it? As long as there is a wind is there, then you can produce the wind energy. And next, whatever the solar system is there, sun is there, then so long you can produce the solar energy, isn't it? The next is what it is the water energy, isn't it? Then what it is now the rainy season is there, isn't it? In the rainy season, the water will be stored in the dams, and whatever the water it is stored in rainy season, that water is converted into the electrical energy. Now, when what it is the water is completely what it is the exhausted from the dam, then for few months it will be stopped, and again what it is the renewed. Renewed means what? Again the rainy season will come and water is stored. Then again that water energy is converted into the electrical energy. This process will continue, isn't it? So that the word it is used as a renewable sources of energy, or we can say that the permanent energy sources are named as the renewable sources of energy, isn't it? Example is what? Example is here the example for renewable sources of energy is there water energy, next is wind energy, next solar energy, tidal energy, all these will come, or any sources of energy you take it which is permanent one, then such a energy source is known as what it is the renewable sources of energy. These are the few examples I have given to you. And the next is the non-renewable sources of energy, means the non-permanent energy sources are named as the non-renewable sources of energy. That means which are not permanent. Now, for example, the all fossil fuels, isn't it? For example, isn't it coal is there? Isn't it? Is it permanent source of energy? No. Isn't it? Now, when see from the earth, isn't it? We are digging and getting the coal. Then how long you can get it? Isn't it? Then to whatever extent it is available, isn't it, from the earth, then by that time you can get it. When it is exhausted, then it will be stopped. Isn't it? Similarly, what a crude oil is there, isn't it? Then that crude oil, it is not a permanent one, isn't it? Inside the earth. Then to whatever extent or as long as it is present, isn't it? During that time only we can avail it. Then once it is exhausted, then what will happen is that will be stopped, isn't it? Now listen here, the whole world, now it is in the, what it is the thinking of that, isn't it? What should be done? These are all the things, you see, all the major things, isn't it? For example, is it all the vehicles are running on the crude oil, isn't it? Most of the vehicles, either you take the two-wheelers, four-wheelers, aeroplanes, etc. All these are what it is running on what it is oil only, isn't it? Now, here, one day or the other, that will be exhausted. Then what should be done? Isn't it? When it is exhausted, then is there any alternative? Now, a big research is going on, isn't it? In what it is at this time, isn't it? That is how to get it, the alternative source of energy by which we can run the vehicles, isn't it? Without this oil also, isn't it? Therefore, here, what are non-permanent energy sources are named as what it is a non-renewable sources of energy. Example, coal is there, oil is there, natural gases are there, and next uranium is there. All these they are not what it is the permanent energy sources, isn't it? Now see, this is about what it is the renewable and non-renewable sources of energy. Once again, I repeat, now renewable sources of energy means what? The permanent energy sources are named as the renewable sources of energy. Example is solar energy, water energy, wind energy, tidal energy, etc. The next, the non-renewable sources of energy means what? The non-permanent energy sources are named as the what it is the non-renewable sources of energy, isn't it? Now, example is there, coal is there, oil is there, natural gases is there, uranium. All these are what it is not permanent one. They are named as what it is the non-renewable sources of energy. Now, see, these are the what it is the points which are what it is concerned to this what it is the basics of the sources of energy. Now, I hope in this what it is the complete what it is a lecture, I will summarize here. First, we have discussed about what is the meaning of energy. The next, on the availability, the energy sources are divided into three categories: primary, secondary, supplementary. What is the meaning of that and examples for that, isn't it? And the next is, what are the important characteristic property of a source of energy? That we have discussed. And the next, after understanding this one, then we have discussed about the conventional and non-conventional energy sources. isn't it? Then in detail we have discussed what do you mean by conventional? That is a commercial energy sources. Examples. Non-conventional means the energy sources which are non-commercial, isn't it? Then examples for that. After understanding this one, the next is renewable sources and non-renewable sources of energy. Renewable sources of energy means what? Permanent energy sources are named as the renewable sources of energy. Examples for that. Then non-renewable sources of energy means what? The energy sources which are not permanent. They are named as the non-renewable sources of energy. Examples for that. Now see, these are the points what we have discussed in the today's lecture. Now the next point concerned to this one, we will discuss in the next class. Now I will stop here.